Our second awardee of the night is a native from La Isla del Encanto, Puerto Rico. We're the Puerto Ricans in the house. Yeah. Kind of quiet for Puerto Ricans, you know that, Charlie? Yeah. I don't know, getting a little disillusioned here. Staying true to his roots, he has been a community and political activist since the 1970s, focusing on the Boricua underserved community. His activism is unique in that he also focuses on the equality of Latino representation in the sports arena. As a founder of Latinos in Sports, a sports media and marketing firm which has been recognized as a leader in promoting positive Latino role models. Because folks, let's be honest with ourselves. We need more role models, and the Latinos are very well represented, and that's where we get a lot of our role models, from the sports area. And this awardee actively works to assure equal coverage for Latino athletes and provide career opportunities to young people in sports. He also founded one of the first in the nation, a bilingual, Spanish and English, sports talk show called La Hora Deportiva, now on WVOX, 1460 AM, a talk show in Westchester County. His strong commitment to the community and his activism have been acknowledged by many, including Latin Tiempo magazine, who named him the #1 most influential Latino in sports. Think about that, it's pretty cool. And I say that because I asked him for an autograph, Big Papi Baseball, so I got to put that little plug in there, got to do that. As an active member of the Promesa Foundation, our awardee works tirelessly to raise funds to support programs that address many of LULAC's key mission pillars, including health, education, employment, economic, and community development. As an advocate, he understands the value of providing programs that are culturally sensitive to the Latino community, and his immense dedication to the Latino community is reflected in his decision to spend his free time lecturing at his local South Bronx high schools, motivating students to achieve the extent of their full potential. Please help me welcome this year's recipient of LULAC Nationals Award for Advocacy in Sports, Mr. Julio Pabón.
Buenas noches. Good evening. I just came, not recently, we just got off the train. We were in the South Bronx. We were in the middle of a major campaign for democracy, not in a third world country, but in a district called District 17 in the South Bronx, which is the poorest in the United States. And I was in that fight. I lost the election, but we definitely proved that there's a lot of insurgents that are not going to allow the status quo to continue to rule our destiny. So I'm happy to be here today because we're a winner in that. I want to thank the people in the Boston area because my story is a little bit different. I came from Puerto Rico at the age of 4, poor family. My father was a migrant farm worker, but yet he was an American citizen because it was easier to bring Puerto Ricans who were citizens than bring Mexicans from the West Coast in the 1950s. Raised in the South Bronx, extreme poverty. First one in my household to get a high school diploma, a college degree, and a master's degree from NYU. Raised 3 children in the South Bronx to prove that the images of the South Bronx and what they said about the Bronx burning, Howard Cosell, the Bronx is burning, remember, in the World Series of the Yankees? It's not true. The Bronx is bouncing back, but we need a lot of help. And organizations like LULAC are giving us so much attention to understand that Latinos have so much to give in this country, but we're undervalued. We're not respected. So thank you, LULAC, for helping a guy from the South Bronx understand that an organization since 1929 has been around. So they used to tell me, why don't you speak English or go back to your country? I can always go back and say, well, there's this organization that's been here since 1929, so where do they go to? So thank you. My story is a little bit different in the sense that I'm not a business person, but if you understand what I'm about to tell you, God speaks to us many times and we just don't listen. And I learned to listen. That's one of the reasons I survived the South Bronx. And how did I get involved in sports? And how did I develop this company? In 1989, I'm in Puerto Rico vacationing with my family. And I'm in the pool of the Hilton Hotel in Mayagüez. And there are some people look like they're arguing. And you know Puerto Ricans, like when we get excited, it looks like we're fighting, but we're not. We're using our hands. So I said, ¿Qué es lo que pasa allí en esa esquina? And he said, Did you hear? Did you hear the news? And I said, what news? And he said, bro, Ruben Sierra, man, he should have been the American League most valuable player. And they gave it to Robin Yount. And I'm a Yankee fan. I live in the South Bronx. You can't be anything but a Yankee fan. If not, you get beat up. So I said, who's Ruben Sierra? I heard about him, but this is before internet, before ESPN, before all of this. So unless you didn't know too much about a guy from Texas, he played for the Texas Rangers. And I said, well, when he told me, Ruben Sierra, man, he's a Puerto Rican from Puerto Rico. He has beaten everybody in the American League in the 5 categories. In sports, you have 7 categories. And he had beaten everybody in 5: home runs, doubles, triples, base hits, stolen bases. And he should have been the American League most valuable player. But the press gave it to another baseball player who had a good year. His name is Robin Yount. But for some reason, that affected me. Because as a Puerto Rican growing up in the South Bronx, who has a little bit of color, I have always been made to feel that I'm not a citizen. I've always been made to feel like if I was an immigrant. And when they said that to me about Ruben Sierra, I said, that's not right. Because I was also a school teacher. And I noticed that kids, when they came to class and they didn't have a role model, I remember the little black kids, when they came in and Hearns or somebody wanted to fight, they would walk into the class like, yo, man, I'm bad. And when somebody like a white athlete did something, I see the kids next day feel very proud, but I very rarely seen a Latino. So when I heard that about Ruben Sierra, I said, that's not right. We should give him an award. So I went up to these guys and I said, you know what? Yo vivo en el sur del Bronx, and the Yankee Stadium is right next to my house. And all the baseball players from the American League have to come to Yankee Stadium. So I said, in April, when the season begins, I'm going to get a whole bunch of kids. We're going to stand by the entrance, and when the bus comes and brings the guys out, and Ruben Sierra comes out, I'm going to have a plaque for him. And I'm going to say, Ruben Sierra, to us Latinos, you are a Latino most valuable player. And I just made that up, okay? I didn't think about that. I wasn't taught that in school. It just came out. Sometimes we have a big mouth and you react to things that you feel in your heart. You gotta be careful because then you have to do it. I didn't think about doing it, but let me tell you this quick little story. Right there, I didn't know that all these guys were reporters. So one of them says to me, ¿Tú quieres decir eso en el radio? So I said, ¿qué radio? He said, sí, en el programa mío del mediodía. So next thing I know, I'm being whisked off from the pool, and my wife looks at me, she says, I don't believe you. We come here to vacation. You get involved in sports. So I go to this radio station, and they asked me on the radio, about what happened. I said, I think it's wrong because I noticed that Latino kids need positive role models. And, kids follow music. They follow sports. So it's very important, especially in 1989. So I said, no, I want to do this. And as a school teacher, I think kids need these positive role models. So next thing I know, people started to call from different parts of the island. And somebody calls and says, would you like to meet Ruben Sierra? So I felt just like your president, who when he asked me for a baseball autograph, I said, maybe I can get an autograph from him. I'll go, sure, I want to meet him. So I went to Ciudad Deportiva, where Sports Illustrated was doing a cover story on him at that year. And I got to meet him, and I told Ruben Sierra, listen, I want to do something, I want to give you an award. And he said, no, fíjate. I said, no, pero es que you did so well, y te negaron ese premio. And the fact that he's a black Puerto Rican, grew up in the projects of Puerto Rico. One of his sisters was a dope fiend. And this young man, who's a high school dropout, makes it to be the top baseball player in the American League. I said, you got to be recognized, because I know a lot of Latinos can associate with that. And he said, olvídate, no, pero eso no hay que darme ningún premio. So yo sé que yo me gané ese premio, pero yo voy a seguir dándole la bola duro. And I said to him, in reality, este premio no es para ti. Este es para los niños latinos that need to see a role model, whether they live in Chicago, whether they live in the South Bronx, they live in Boston, they live in Houston, they live in East LA. These kids need to see that. So he saw my passion. He said, esa vale. So he pulls out this little piece and he gives me a cell phone. And I come back to New York and I'm in the plane thinking, en que yo me he metido. What am I going to do next? Bottom line, I come back to the Bronx. I talked to a couple of friends of mine. We look at the schedule, and sure enough, the West Coast comes to the East Coast very early in the season. So in April, when the baseball season begins, he comes to New York, and I'm planning the same thing that I just mentioned to you. So I spoke to some of my friends who are business leaders, and each one of them gave me a donation, and I took out a central page in the Diario La Prensa, and I went to the Yankees, and I bought 200 tickets for right field, because that's the position he played. Then I went to the Yankees and I told them that I was going to honor this guy outside, but I felt that maybe I should do it inside since I bought 200 tickets. And the Yankees told me, no. They say, we're not in the business of honoring someone who's not a Yankee. And I said, but let me tell you something. I'm a Yankee fan. I'm not a Texas Ranger fan. In fact, I didn't even know who he was until a couple of weeks ago. But Latinos in the Bronx, which are the majority, don't come to the stadium enough because you don't advertise to us. Can you imagine if you just did something for a Puerto Rican, which the majority of the Bronx is Puerto Rican, because it's el pueblo más grande de Puerto Rico after San Juan is the Bronx. But they didn't want to hear it. They said, no, we're not into this business. But I had just done the campaigning for Mayor Dinkins, the first African-American mayor to win the election in New York. So I was the one that helped write the strategy for that election. So I went to the mayor and I told the mayor, listen, I want to do this award. And the Yankees said, I can't do it. He says, well, tell the Yankees that the mayor of the city of New York is going to be with you in the parking lot. And we're going to give that young man the award. So I called the Yankees. I said, yo, the Yankees, the mayor said that he's going to be with me outside giving this award. And I hung up. And within half an hour, I got like 3 phone calls from attorneys, from the Yankees, from the special relations. They say, you got to come to Yankee Stadium and talk to us. Why do you want to embarrass us? I said, I don't want to embarrass you. I just want to give this award. You told me I can't give it here, so I was going to give it outside when he comes. Bottom line, se fueron más allá. They had me go to the stadium, and they had me give the award on home plate. And they mentioned my name on the screen. And when I came out, I was so excited, I felt like running around the bases because I had never been on the field. In the times that I went on the field, the cops would chase me. So now I'm legitimately being asked to go on the field. But what changed my life into sports as a teacher, as a person who was a community activist, was that when I was standing in front of home plate looking at the stadium, the kids that were in right field, that we had this big banner that said Ruben Sierra, the award Latino MVP, and I named it Latino MVP back in 1989 because I felt that that was the correct name. I didn't give it Julio Pabón's award, I didn't give it the other award. I think that was the name that I chose, and it was God sent because that later on the word Latino was used more often. And as a result, but I saw in other parts of the stadium, I saw some people in left field with a sign that said, Ruben Sierra, you're the real MVP. I saw some other signs that said, it's about time, respect our community. And I felt that I touched a nerve. And I decided in that moment that never again was I going to allow anyone to tell us who are our role models. I was going to give that award every year, and we're celebrating our 26th year right now. And that's how we met this group, because we gave an award last year for Hispanic Heritage Month, and one of the awardees was David Big Papi Ortiz. And we gave that award, some Boston fans here? All right. Well, Latino fans are strange. We no longer follow teams, we now follow players. So I can dig Boston too. We gave the award to Big Papi at Fenway Park at an incredible luncheon. The governor of Massachusetts was there. The vice mayor of Boston was with us. The mayor of Cambridge, the president of the Boston Red Sox, and Big Papi. And we had a lot of executives. And I gave this presentation about the Latino community, that though we're growing, and though we have numbers, and though we have the economic power, we're still not respected. when Gloria Sotomayor, from my part of the woods in the South Bronx, became the Supreme Court nominee, I could not believe that CNN was reporting her as the proud daughter of immigrants. Boricuas are not immigrants, people. We are citizens. So I knew that we still are not being respected or understood. So I gave this presentation, make a long story short. The governor tells me that I learned a lot from you today. And as a result, I met another young man from Boston who's a member of your organization, LULAC, Juan Pagan. He came over, he was very impressed, and somehow he nominates me for this award. And your organization basically had a vote somewhere, and I get a letter saying that I got this award. And they want me to come to Washington. So when I look up and I say, well, LULAC, I remember LULAC. So to me, it is such a pleasure to come here because today I am representing an organization that has done something. I didn't have a plan. I didn't have an idea. I didn't go to school for this. And when my message to you is that there are so many opportunities that are out there. And when God speaks to you, He doesn't put a big cloud that says, haz esto, or why don't you do this? The opportunities are right there. And if you do it, today, the most prestigious award given to a Latino baseball player is called the Latino MVP Award. And that award came because of me being in a pool, overhearing these guys talking, looking like they were arguing. And I went como un entremetido to find out what it was. So it pays to be an entremetido. I want to thank my friends from the New York and New Jersey, LULAC. I want to thank LULAC organization. You guys are doing a great job. God bless you.